Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video, and this is the continuation of my reviews for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. So of course I reviewed the first film already, the true classic Texas Chainsaw from the 70s, from 74. I love the original, it's one of my favorite horror films of all time. Let me just get that out of the way. I'm going to make sure my camera was straight there for a second. Sorry about that. Anyways, this is the continuation of the reviews for the franchise. Now, of course, 12 years later, after the original film, this film came out in 1986. And of course, that review is going to be on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Where you have Tobe Hooper once again coming back to direct this. Once again, 12 years after the original film. And this film is far more different than the original. This one is more for... This is more of a dark comedy film. And more gore and things like that. So, it's not like the first film at all. But it does have the same family, though, from the first movie. Because you have Jim Seedale reprising his role as the cook. You have Leatherface coming back, but this time it's played by Bill Johnson and instead of Gunnar Hansen. But basically the idea with this film is that basically it takes place after the events of the first film, and I really like how it opens with it. Of course, it opens with the opening crawl, the opening narrations, talking about the events of the first film, and I really like the one piece of dialogue in there where it said. About Sally, she said that someone found her along the side of the road, and Sally had said to them that she broke out of a window in hell, which I really like that line. I thought that was a pretty cool piece of dialogue. But basically it opens with these, I guess you could say, two yuppies, and they're driving on the wrong side of the road, and they're goofing off, and they ended up cutting this one car off, and apparently later on that day you find out that the person they cut off was Leatherface, and of course Leatherface kills them. And basically you have this radio DJ, Stretch, played by Caroline Williams, who hears this on the radio and plays it live, and at the same time you have Dennis Hopper's character as Lefty Enright. He's a Texas Ranger who is looking for the Sawyer family because he is the uncle to Sally and Franklin, who were in the first movie. So it's like he's been looking for the family for a decade after what they did to his to Sally and Franklin, and basically from there, there's a lot of other stuff that goes on as well. And of course, you have the introduction to Chop Top, played by Bill Moseley, and things like that. Bill Moseley, without a doubt, steals the show in this as Chop Top. Bill Moseley is my favorite character that he ever played, Chop Top. I think it's a great horror character. Now going into details about the film, I really do enjoy the sequel. I really do enjoy this film a lot. I like the fact that Tobe Hooper kind of thought you know what, I can't be like the original. I can't top the original, and he's right. So he made something different. He made a black comedy, a dark comedy film, and I think it works. And the gore effects are really well done because I think you have Tom Savini. Yeah, I think you have Tom Savini who did the gore effects. So the gore effects are amazing. And I really like the characters. You have, Dennis Hopper. I miss Dennis Hopper. May he rest in peace. I've always been a big fan of Dennis Hopper. Speed. Just a lot of other stuff Dennis Hopper has been in. I think he's great as Lefty. I think Bill Johnson does a very solid job as Leatherface, but I still like Gunnar Hansen more. But Bill Johnson does a fine job. I really like Caroline Williams as Stretch, the DJ. I think she's a great character. And of course you have Grandpa, because in the first film, it's the same family. So you have Leatherface, Chop Top's in the family, but you have Leatherface coming back, the cook, and of course Grandpa, because the hitchhiker got. If you remember at the end of the first film, Edwin Neal, who was the crazed hitchhiker in the original, got ran over by the semi truck at the very end of the first film. So, and I believe that Chop Top is his brother. I believe, and like Chop Top was a guy who was in, I believe, in Vietnam, and he has like a metal plate in his head, and that's where you get one of my favorite parts of the movie, where Stretch encounters Chop Top, and they have a really pretty good jump scare where it's like he's like turn on the light, and then she flips the light switch on, and Leatherface pops out with the chainsaw, and like Chop Top's wearing this like really weird looking wig. And then, Bill Moseley just has a lot of fun with this role. The way he plays Chop Top is just so great. Leatherface, you bit off! Dog will hunt! Dog will hunt! He's got the metal plate in his head. And when I met Bill Moseley, because I met Bill Moseley before, really cool guy, by the way. I do have the film on DVD, but that's actually signed by Bill Moseley. And I got him to sign my favorite line of his from the movie, where Stretch is in the underground area where their hideout is at, and Leatherface kind of has a crush on Stretch, so I thought that was kind of funny. And Chop Top finds out, and she's like, "You like her?" And she's like, "Baba's got a girlfriend. Baba's got a girlfriend. Baba got a girlfriend. Baba got a girlfriend. Baba got a girlfriend." And Bill Moseley just has a lot of fun with the role as Chop Top, and that's what I got him to sign. I got him to sign Bubba's Got a Girlfriend, Bill Moseley, Chop Top. So it was a really cool experience meeting Bill Moseley. But this film just has a lot going for it. I think it's a really great sequel. I think it's a really great, solid sequel to the original. Not as good as the original, but I wasn't expecting it to be better than the original. It was way different than the original film. Because the original film was more of an atmospheric, really great looking, gritty feel to it. I love the whole setting. Just the way that Tobe Hooper directed the original. It has that really gritty vibe to it. It has a really great 70s vibe. And it's more of an atmospheric movie. It doesn't really rely heavily on gore. It's more about shock value and more of the atmosphere. While this one is more of a dark comedy film with some horror elements in it, and this is more about the blood and things like that. And I think the gore effects are really, really well done, especially because it's Tom Savini who does the effects. And on top of that too, it has great characters. Leatherface coming back, Chop Top. I can go on forever and ever about Chop Top. I just think Bill Moseley he steals the show as Chop Top. He's a great character. I really like Caroline Williams as the DJ, Stretch. I like Dennis Hopper as Lefty. It's really cool that Jim Seedow came back as the cook. You also have the guy to play Grandpa, he's back. I think it's directed very well by Tobe Hooper. I believe this was after Poltergeist that Tobe Hooper did this film, because Poltergeist was 82 and this was 86. Then after this, Tobe Hooper would do things like The Mangler and things like that, but I think this is without a doubt one of Tobe Hooper's solid movies. I think this is one of his best ones. I think this film has a lot going for it. It's way different than the original film, but I like the way that they did this film. It's gory, has really good characters. I really like the setting that it's in, like the family, and then this like underground, like abandoned like amusement park looking place. And of course, the whole end fight between Dennis Hopper and Leatherface with the chainsaws is a lot of fun. And the ending too is kind of like an homage, kind of like to the first movie, because like at the end of the first film, Leatherface is swinging the chainsaw around. In this one, you have Stretch swinging the chainsaw this time, so it's kind of like an homage a little bit to the original film, to the ending. So I thought that was pretty nice. Really crazy way it ends. It's just one of those things where it kind of ends just like that, like cuts to black, kind of like the original film. But overall, I think this film is really, really solid. It's a great installment into the Chainsaw series. Dennis Hopper, I really like. I like Caroline Williams, Bill Moseley, Jim Seedow, who plays the cook. I think it's directed very well by Tobe Hooper. Really bloody, really great, funny lines of dialogue, a lot of fun, dark comedy moments. And just Bill Moseley as Chop Top, in my opinion, just steals the show. So, I'm not going to say much more about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. It's a really solid sequel. It's without a doubt my favorite sequel of the franchise. Easily my second favorite of the franchise. But that is pretty much it for my review for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys next time. You guys take care.